Why the Honda Civic became a youth icon. Some cars are built only to move people from one place to another. Some are built for comfort. Some are built for speed. But the Honda Civic became something entirely different. It became a car that millions of young people could actually dream of owning. Not a supercar, not a luxury sedan, not an expensive performance machine. Just a small, simple, reliable Honda. And somehow, that small car became one of the biggest icons in car culture. This is the story of how the Honda Civic became a youth icon. The Honda Civic first appeared in the early 1970s. The world was changing fast. Fuel prices were rising, and drivers everywhere were looking for cars that were smaller, cheaper, and more efficient. Honda read the moment perfectly. The Civic wasn't trying to be flashy. It wasn't chasing luxury or power. It was designed to be practical, affordable, and dependable. And that was exactly what people needed. Small enough for city streets, affordable enough for ordinary families, efficient enough to make real sense when fuel economy actually mattered. But the Civic had something many economy cars didn't. It felt clever, it felt well built, and most importantly, it felt like a car that would last. Over the years, the Civic earned one reputation above everything else: reliability. For many people, it was their first car. For others, it carried them through school, work, family life, and everything in between. Civics with hundreds of thousands of miles still running weren't rare. They were expected. That reputation built trust, and that trust spread around the world. But reliability alone doesn't make a car a youth icon. Many cars are reliable. The Civic became special because it was reliable, affordable, and easy to make personal. For young drivers, that combination mattered more than anything. A first car isn't just transportation. It becomes part of your identity. It's the car you drive with your friends, the car you learn in, the car you park outside school or work, the car you slowly improve even when your budget is small. And the Civic was perfect for all of that. Light, simple, easy to work on. Parts were available everywhere. And almost every generation had a version people could modify. That's the moment the Civic stopped being just an economy car and started becoming a car culture legend. In the 1990s and early 2000s, the Civic became one of the most popular cars in the tuning scene. Young enthusiasts loved it because it gave them a real entry point into car culture without needing a big budget. You didn't need to be rich to own a Civic. You could buy one used, fix it, modify it, and slowly turn it into something that felt truly yours. Some people changed the wheels. Some lowered the suspension. Some upgraded the engine. Some focused on sound systems, interiors, or clean visual style. The Civic became a blank canvas. A BMW or Mercedes could make you look successful. A supercar could make you look rich. But a Civic could show your taste, your effort, and your personality. It wasn't about buying status. It was about building something. And that is powerful. The Civic also became famous because of its engines. Honda engines built a strong reputation for being efficient, durable, and surprisingly fun. And one name became almost legendary among enthusiasts: VTEC. For many fans, VTEC represented that exact moment when a small Honda engine suddenly felt alive. It wasn't always about huge horsepower numbers. It was about the feeling, the sound, the high revs, the lightweight body, the sense that this small car had far more character than anyone expected. That made the Civic exciting, practical during the week, fun on the weekend, a car your parents could respect and your friends could admire. Then came movies, video games, car meets, online forums, and eventually social media. The Civic was everywhere. Racing games, modified car culture, parking lot meets, YouTube builds, Instagram pages, garage projects. For many young people, the Civic was one of the first cars that made them genuinely interested in the automotive world. It wasn't intimidating. It felt possible. And that is the key word: possible. A Lamborghini is exciting, but for most people it feels impossibly far away. A Porsche is beautiful, but the price keeps it out of reach. A Civic feels reachable. A young person could look at one and think, one day I could own that. And when a dream feels reachable, it becomes emotional. That's why the Civic means more than its price tag. It represents freedom. The first drive alone, the first road trip with friends, the first modification, the first time someone says, "Your car looks nice," the first feeling that something truly belongs to you. That's why the Civic became personal. Of course, not everyone embraced Civic culture. Some saw modified Civics as loud, cheap, or overdone. And yes, not every build was perfect, but that's also part of the story. The Civic was so accessible that almost anyone could try. Some builds were clean and beautiful. Some were wild. Some were simple. Some were rough around the edges. But all of them came from the same idea: taking an ordinary car and turning it into something meaningful. And that's why the Civic survived across generations. From early simple models to the sporty C versions. From hatchbacks to sedans. From daily drivers to full builds. The Civic stayed relevant because it kept adapting. It could be many things to many people: a family car, a student car, a commuter, a tuner, a first car, a project, a symbol. Very few cars can do all of that. The Honda Civic didn't become an icon because it was the fastest car in the world. It didn't become an icon because it was the most luxurious. It became an icon because it gave ordinary people access to something bigger. It gave young drivers a way into car culture. It gave them reliability when they needed it. It gave them freedom when they wanted it. And it gave them a platform to express who they were. That's why the Honda Civic became more than just a car. It became a youth icon. A car that proved you don't need to be expensive to be legendary. You just need to be trusted, loved, and remembered. And for millions of people around the world, the Honda Civic is exactly that. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to Auto Origins, because every car has a story, and we'll be telling the next one very soon.